Hello students, in this video we will try to understand types of capacitors and its characteristics. Let us try to understand what exactly a capacitor is. So capacitors are passive components containing at least two conducting layers separated by an insulating layer, which is also called as dielectric. The formula for the capacitor is given by epsilon r epsilon O A upon D, where epsilon r is the relative permittivity, epsilon O is the absolute permittivity, A is the area of conducting plates, and D is the distance between the two plates. Capacitors are always measured in farads, represented by capital F. The symbolic representation of capacitors is as shown in the figure. The first one is non-polarized fixed capacitor. That means there is no polarity for such capacitor. The second one is polarized fixed capacitor. It will have a polarity. And the third one is variable capacitor. The applications of capacitors are energy storage, tuning and filtering, sensors, data storage, bypass coupling and decoupling capacitors, clamping circuits, triggering circuit, and it is also used for signal processing. Let us now try to understand the types of capacitors. As in case of resistor, the first basic classification of capacitor is fixed and variable. The fixed capacitor is further classified as non-polarized and polarized capacitor. That means a capacitor which has a polarity and which does not have a polarity. Under the heading of non-polarized capacitor, we will try to understand ceramic, film type, paper, mica and glass. Under the heading of polarized capacitor, we will try to understand electrolyte and supercapacitors. The electrolytic capacitors are further can be made of aluminium, tantalum and niobium capacitors. The variable capacitor is further classified as trimmer capacitor and tuning capacitor. So basically used in frequency oscillator circuits. The first one which we'll try to understand is ceramic capacitor. In the figure we have shown a ceramic disc. On both sides of the ceramic disc we put an electrode, and from that electrode we take connecting wires, and this entire setup is encapsulated by a protective coating, and a value will be specified on the capacitor. That will be the value 103, which will specify the value of the capacitance. The characteristics of ceramic capacitor: low loss factor, reasonable level of stability, low capacitance per unit volume, which is around 0.1 microfarad, high frequency response due to the parasitic effect like resistance and inductance. So this is all about ceramic capacitor. Next is mica capacitor. In mica capacitor, there is several layers of mica which acts as a dielectric, and there will be a silver plates in between the mica dielectric. So the silver plates acts as a conducting plate, whereas mica acts as a dielectric. Sometimes a mica with a silver coating is also used, which is always preferred over silver plate. This is a basic construction of mica capacitor. Some connecting wires will be taken out, which will be the separate electrodes to connect that mica capacitor in the circuit. Actual photo of mica capacitor is as shown in the next diagram. The characteristics consist of low tolerance, stable and very accurate, low resistive and inductive loss. Characteristics are mostly frequency independent, withstand high voltage and temperature also. Also it has low capacitance. So wherever there is an application of low capacitance, mica capacitors will be used. Next is paper capacitor. So paper capacitor is made either by taking two or more aluminum sheet and placing waxed paper between them, or by stocking paper sheets coated with metallic zinc or aluminum. The waxed paper acts as dielectric and metal sheet or coating acts as a electrode. The figure shows the metal foil coating, and in between there will be a waxed paper. This is the basic construction of paper capacitor. The actual photo of paper capacitor is as shown in the next diagram. The characteristics include low capacitance from nanofarad to 50 microfarad, high working voltage and current, high leakage rates, tolerance not better than 10%, 20%, making them unsuitable for precise timing circuits. So this is the basic characteristics of mica capacitors. Next is thin film capacitors. The construction of thin film capacitor is same as the paper capacitors which we have discussed just now. The only difference is the dielectric used. There was the wax paper which we have used. The dielectric layer can be here polyester, polyethylene, polypropylene, polycarbonate, Teflon or metal oxides. Features: it has low cost, low losses even at high frequency, high stability, low self inductance and ECR, and long shelf life. ECR means effective series resistance. So these are the advantages of thin film capacitor. Next is glass capacitor. In glass capacitor, glass can also be used as dielectric. Capacitors thus formed are used in radio frequency RF circuits, which ultimate performance is required. They offer a low temperature coefficient with no hysteresis, no piezoelectric noise, zero aging rate and extremely low loss. They also have a large RF current capability with high operating temperature. Next classification is electrolytic capacitor. The capacitor with polarity. That means there will be a terminal of positive and negative. The figure shows the basic photo of the electrolytic capacitor. The first one is aluminum. Electrolytic capacitors are used when large capacitor values are required from microfarad to millifarad. Thin film layer is used for one electrode, and for second electrode cathode a semi-liquid electrolyte solution which is in jelly or paste is used. The dielectric is a thin oxide layer. You can see in the figure there are two aluminum foils which acts as an electrode. There will be an oxide layer and there is a tissue soaked with electrolyte. Also, paper separators are used when it is foiled to form the basic capacitor. So this is a structure of your electrolyte capacitor when we use aluminum as the two electrodes. The features, the characteristics has high capacitance and voltage range are available, very good availability of raw material. That means raw materials are very easily available. There is a disadvantage related to electrolytic capacitors, that possibility of explosion if wrong polarity is connected. If the polarity is not matching with the circuit, it may explode. Tendency of self heat for types with high ESR, limited frequency response and high leakage current, and of course it will have aging effect. The other two types of electrolytic capacitors are tantalum and niobium. The tantalum, a basic tantalum capacitor is shown in the figure. There is a sponge tantalum with a layer of tantalum oxide Ta2O2, and a tantalum wire is embedded in that sponge tantalum base to form a capacitor. So this will be one electrode as the surface area is more, the capacitance value will be more. So over that there will be a metal oxide which will act as a dielectric, manganese oxide which will be act as a electrolyte, and then there is a two layer of carbon and silver which forms the electrodes, from where the two terminals will be taken out and a capacitor will be formed. The basic characteristics of tantalum electrolytic capacitors allow large current to pass, reliable and stable over time, superior frequency characteristics. But it also has disadvantages which may lead to thermal runaway and small explosion if the polarity is not proper, high voltage and capacitance not normally available, uh, and polarity and voltage limit should be taken care of. Of course, when you connect it in the circuit, it has to be taken care of for all electrolytic capacitors. The second one is niobium. The construction of niobium capacitor is same as that of tantalum. Only difference is tantalum is replaced by niobium. The advantage of niobium over tantalum is that high relative permittivity, but at increased dielectric thickness. Abundance of niobiums are in nature lightweight, higher ignition energy than tantalum, which resulting in significant reduction of the ignition, and few more characteristics. At present, when we are trying to understand types of capacitors under the heading of fixed, we have already understood non-polarized, and in polarized we have already gone through electrolytic. So now we will try to understand the second characteristics, second classification of your polarized capacitor, which are super capacitors, which has high capacitance value. So super capacitors are capable of storing very large amount of charges. They have the potential to replace complement conventional batteries. They have extended runtime, fast charging and discharging, high power density enables low or high temperature operation, etc. Supercomputer consists of two electrode separated by an ion permeable membrane, separator बोलते हैं उसको, and on electrolyte and an electrolyte between the electrodes. The figure shows the porous electrodes on the two sides. There is a separator in between, and there is a electrolyte. So when you provide an external voltage, ion present in the electrolyte forms a double layer of opposite polarity at the respective electrode. So this is in the figure we have shown. We have applied external polarity, and as soon as we apply external power supply, opposite polarity of the ions are shown, which is also called as Helmholtz double layer. So this is a potential difference which will be formed on the two sides of the capacitor. As we said, that is why the super capacitor can also be used as a battery. Now there are two types of capacitance: electrostatic double layer capacitance and pseudo capacitance. The electrostatic double layer capacitance, storage of the electric energy due to the separation of charge in a Helmholtz double layer at the interface between the electrode surface and an electrolyte solution. So this is because of that condition. And pseudo is Faradaic electromagnetic storage with electron charge transfer achieved by redox interaction, intercalation, or electrosporation. So because of that, so the supercomputer will have two types of capacitance available when an external potential is applied to them. So this is the main feature of supercomputer, because of which it has high capacitance value. Of course, the capacitance will depends upon the electrode material, activated carbon, carbon nanofibers, and graphites, etc. So this is a feature which will be available for supercomputers. Similarly, in pseudo capacitance, the capacitance value depends upon electrode material, conducting polymers, and metal oxide. The next type of classification is variable capacitor. The capacitance of the capacitor depends on the area of the plate and the distance between them. A general formula for capacitance is as shown in the figure. C is directly proportional to A and inversely proportional to D. The figure shows the moving plate. Variable capacitors has moving plate. You can see the brown color region is a static plate which is already there. Okay, and there is a moving plate which is shown in the blue color, and there will be a shaft which will use to move the plate. Now in the first condition, what happens is there was no area of cross section over each other. So what happens is the capacitance is 0. When you move the shaft, now in this case half of the plate is in the static plate, so the capacitance will increase, and when the plate is overlapping each other, the capacitance is at its maximum. So this is how a variable capacitor is designed, and it is very useful in tuning purpose, and therefore the first classification which we will try to understand under the variable capacitor is tuning capacitor. Tuning capacitors are variable capacitors for continuously varying the capacitance for tuning a circuit. An important ability of tuning capacitor is to withstand mechanical shock or vibration. The old radios which were there you used to use tuning capacitors to connect to a particular channel. Similarly, trimming capacitors are small size variable capacitors which serve the purpose of initial calibration of equipments during manufacturing or servicing. Trimmer capacitors are cheaper and used for fine variation of the capacitance of the tuned circuit. So that is the difference between these two. So if you want to vary a capacitance to a higher degree of range, you will use tuning capacitor. If you need a small change in the capacitor, very small change in the capacitor, then you will use trimming capacitor. The dielectric used for variable capacitors can be air, ceramic, plastic, mica, mylar, and there can be number of more examples. This type of capacitors are also called as gang capacitor, where a gang capacitor is a combination of two or more variable capacitor mounted on a common shaft to simultaneously change the capacitance of the grouped capacitor. It is normally used with short wave radio equipment. As I said, it will be used in radio circuits for measurement of for tuning a particular channel. Next, the important topic is how to read the capacitor value. For example, in a figure we have mentioned a capacitor whose value is specified is at 220 microfarad. So if it is an electrolytic capacitor, the value of the capacitance will be directly specified there. But in a ceramic capacitor, the value is specified as numbers. So if it is 103, the first two digit is a significant value which has to be kept as it is. The third is the multiplier, that means it has to be used as a raised to power 3, and these ceramic capacitors will have the values always in picofarad. So we can say in the first case we have, it will be 10 into 10 to the power 3 picofarad. Pico means 10 to the power minus 12. So minus 12 plus 3 will be minus 9. So it will be 10 nanofarad, or if you convert it into microfarad, it will be 0.1 microfarad. Next, similarly, if we have 102, then it will be 10. The first two value will be significant digits, 10 into 10 to the power 2 picofarad, which can be written as 1 into 10 to the power 3 picofarad, or it can be 1 nanofarad. Similarly, if only there is an example where you have only 47, so if 47, then the multiplier will be 0, and anything raised to power 0 is 1. So 47 into 10 to the power 0 picofarad, which will be 47 picofarad. And similar examples can be taken for measuring the value of capacitance. There are examples where the values of capacitance will be specified in numbers as well as alphabets. So as in case of the example which we have taken now, it has 222J. Now 222J, the first two value is again significant digit, the third number is the multiplier, and the fourth one, the alphabet, indicates the tolerance, that means variation in the value of capacitance. There is a complete chart which indicates the tolerance level from A to Z, as shown in the figure. You can see the table. So this capacitance value will be 22 into 10 to the power 2 picofarad plus minus 5%. So which will be 2.2 nanofarad plus minus 5%.